install the pipes and the added apparatus that's needed to get the water there, and then you're left with empty pipes. So we have to source the water from somewhere. Generally, our source has been Bethlehem. Bethlehem is very hesitant to do anything with us right now. They're ready to service many situations in the 85-85A corridor, which Roz spoke of, that need water, that need more opportunities for sewer taps and so forth. We have a great job being done in the old Kissel's trailer park, where the owner is cleaning it up and fixing it up, but he needs that water and sewer available to him. But Bethlehem's waiting till we settle this issue. They don't want to do anything that will give us more opportunity to develop and expand, especially in a large-scale situation with their water, which will cause them problems with traffic and tractor trailers and the like going through Sunderland's. Some people say we shouldn't let Bethlehem hold us hostage, or any of our neighboring communities. But the operative words there are neighboring communities. And we're all in this together. The neighborhood doesn't stop at the town line. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McGrange. Mr. Stanley.
Well, some people say that our town has a problem because it doesn't have enough water and doesn't have sewer. There's another way to look at that. The reason our town is the way it is because we don't have water and sewer. When you have water and sewer, you're going to get people to build houses and make development. I feel for people that don't have water, and I think there's a lot of things we can do to help enhance some of the water districts we have and explore some other ones. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of money, and the only time it pays to put in a water district is if you have high density. So do we want water in high density? Or, but as far as a commercial zone, the burden's on the developer. It's not our problem to give him water and sewer. That's their problem. They have to come with a proposal. They have to decide how they're going to do this. That's the burden falls on them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stan. Mr. McKay.
Well, it's clear that existing businesses and landowners on the Route 85, 85A corridor already have needs for water and sewer hookup. And so servicing the folks who already contribute to the tax base in town probably needs to be a higher priority than it has been. Mr. Amster's trailer court needs sewer service to provide long-term rental housing at that location. Bethlehem, as Doug said, has made clear that they are not willing to share water and sewer resources with this community until we get our zoning and planning act together. It's as clear as that. And that means putting zoning and planning in place that is going to be the right scale for our community and eliminate impacts from building too big on their community. We are neighbors. We owe each other the respect of working together on this type of issue, particularly if they own the infrastructure and the water supply that we're seeking to access. As Tim said, our water situation is both a blessing and a curse. It really has been the key factor in limiting development in this town. A spotty groundwater supply is why our town does not look like Gilliland or Bethlehem. So when we make the investment and make the plans to create and extend that infrastructure, we need to be careful and thoughtful about that. And I think it's particularly important that we be thoughtful about that process in the commercial zone, because you build too big there, a lot of impacts arise from that, and I think we've made that clear.
Thank you very much, Mr. McKay. At this time, I'd like our candidates to make their closing statements. We will go into
Again, I want to thank everyone for coming and the spotlight on the League of Women Voters. Just as a quick response to the town of Bethlehem, we are neighbors and we do need to be neighborly, but I don't think they should ask more of our town than they're willing to do. They don't have a size cap of any size. Bethlehem is waiting because members of NS4 went to their town board meetings and asked them to get involved. They are holding our town hostage for water and sewer unless we will enact a size cap that they don't have in their town. They have no size cap. Not a 50,000 square foot cap, no size cap. And I do find it interesting that they're worried about traffic in Slingerlands, and I would be worried too if I live in Slingerlands, but apparently it's okay for all of us to drive from our town, from the hill towns, into Slingerlands and grocery shop, and into Slingerlands to go to the giant Vista Plaza that's going to be built tonight to work or whatever. Apparently traffic only goes one way, from our town, or from Slingerlands into our town, and our town into Slingerland. So I think, although I want to be neighborly with Bethlehem, I am not happy that they are holding us hostage again to provide a cap that they're not willing to provide for themselves. I'm saddened again by the discourse in this campaign. I hope we can all agree to be civil and agree to disagree without character assassination. And we do need to talk about water. We do need to talk about tax base. We do need to talk about small business development in our town and senior services and expanding them. Our senior program right now is wonderful, but we need to get more seniors involved, try to get volunteers to get more seniors involved, and maybe get care for the caregivers in our town, because so many people are caregivers, and care for our caregivers will ultimately help our seniors. I want to thank you all. I love this town. I've been here all my life, and I hope you all know that I would never do anything that would destroy New Scotland. I plan to live here the rest of my life, even though Dennis wants to go south where we can fish. And I want it to stay as beautiful as ever, but I also want our commercial zone to thrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Robinson. Mr. McKay.
Thank you for your time this evening, and I appreciate your consideration of a vote for me and for Tom Dolan and Doug LaGrange, because I think we've made it clear in our statements tonight and in our comments and letters and material that we have been most clear about the need for an appropriate size cap, about the need to send a clear signal on big box development in this town. And I do feel that the only three people who have committed clearly and consistently to that goal are Mr. Dolan, Mr. LaGrange, and myself. The consequences of not putting a size cap in place are significant. There's going to be material available from all candidates on the table outside as you leave this room. We've put together a fact sheet on what we believe the tax consequences will be should development pursue on too large a scale. There's been a lot of talk about the need to compromise. I do a lot of work with the state legislature, with the governor's office. I work with compromise all the time. I got a bill passed this year that I've been working on for 3 years. It was passed by the legislature last year, vetoed by the governor. I went back to a very tumultuous session this year and got it passed. I know about compromise. I know what's needed, but I know that compromise is only called for when it is defensible and when it is appropriate and when it's justified. And I'm not yet willing, based on these figures and other concerns, to compromise on a 50-100 cap. I've seen virtually no research from the other side of the issue as to what's wrong with those numbers. We do need to move forward, and I'm ready to help you with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McKay. Mr. Stanley.
This political deal kind of came on me by surprise. I had no intention of running, but when I heard that there was going to be the same person running on all the lines with no choice, I just decided that I had to get involved. I'm not a planner. I'm not an expert, but I've lived in this town for a long time.